What's up YouTube, it's your boy Miss Pyromaniac back again with another video, and boy oh boy, New World is back again for the 10th time. And for the 10th time, I'm excited again. And a lot of people feel this way because I've been going to Windsward, I've been going to Everfall, all the Eden Grove, all the major cities in New World, and they're actually full. New World hasn't had full servers in a long ass time. I can't remember the last time I joined the server and I got stuck in a queue. It's great, and this time New World doesn't only have returning players, it actually has new players, that being console players, PlayStation and Xbox, and that's the big thing with Aeternum, is that they released it on consoles and now we have a big wave of new players. And I just want to preface this video by saying, if you've never played New World and you're thinking about playing the game, you should do it right now, because this is the best time to play New World, when there's a bunch of people playing it, and you won't be alienated because it won't just be returning players, because as I've said, there's a bunch of new players as well. So you'll be joining those PlayStation and Xbox players and you'll be discovering the game for the first time, and dare I say, they've actually made the experience really good. Now, let's talk a bit about the problems that New World used to have, or it kind of still has them, but what were the main problems of New World? Because every time this game releases an update, a bunch of players come back and they play the game again and they end up leaving just like the first time. Just like when the game released, remember? There was major hype around this game, everyone was excited, the beta was good, everyone loved the beta, and then everyone started playing the game. A few months later, the game just suddenly died. Players started leaving, and a year later after the release, really the servers were kind of empty and they've had to merge the servers over and over again. But you know all of that. So why did that happen? Well, because endgame content was really not that good. There wasn't much to do in the endgame. It was just a bunch of dungeons. They're all you're just spamming the same dungeons with different modifiers every week. And it was not that cohesive. There wasn't much variety. It was all a bunch of the same. And the PvP, well, no one really played the PvP. The PvP scene in New World really just isn't there. I'm not sure if it's going to be revived with this new update. We'll have to see. Only time will tell. But it's not to say that the endgame was the only reason people were quitting the game. There was also a bunch of bugs, major bugs, like game-breaking bugs, that would, like, you couldn't finish the main story quest line because of those bugs. And I've experienced one of those and I've had to quit the game because literally this bug was in the game for 3 months and Amazon Game Studios knew about this bug and they just didn't fix it, and people were getting stuck on it. They couldn't finish the story and they left, of course. But later on in the lifespan of the game, they started doing updates, and you gotta give it to Amazon Game Studios. They've actually stuck to the game, even though it was, it went rock bottom. Okay, the game reached rock bottom. It was horrible. But Amazon Game Studios, good for them. They stuck with the game and they updated. They kept updating and they kept fixing and they kept revamping. And now we have New World Aeternum. What's really good about New World Aeternum? Well, the leveling experience is completely revamped. The leveling wasn't the biggest problem in the game, but I really appreciate what they did for the leveling. Now you can you kind of have a class system. It's not really a class system, just something for new players to start the game with, to introduce them in another game. It's called the archetype system, where they give you pre-builds that you can use just to get to know the game, understand the game better. They've also added cutscenes, a lot of cutscenes to the game, which is really good for an MMO. There's actually voice acting in the game now. Can you imagine that? The MMO released with barely any voice acting.
You tin-plated fool. Can't you put aside your obsessions for even a moment?
Beg pardon, but the fate of the world takes precedent over a sibling reunion. Cease this foolish bickering, both of you!
Well, now there's voice acting. There's a bunch of NPCs. They've completely changed the main quest. They played around with it. They revamped it. It's all new now. They kind of fixed the movement a little bit with jumping, and you can actually swim now. So really good updates to the game. Really working hard on the leveling experience. And that's that's great. Now you're going to retain a few more players, at least till they reach endgame. Now, what did they do to endgame? Well, they didn't do much. They did not change a lot. Are people going to quit again? I mean, I don't want to be a doomer here, but my prediction is probably yes. In a few months, people are going to start quitting again because they did not really do much for the end game. And that's what's surprising, is that they're not working on the end game that much. They've released another new raid. That's about it. That's really about it for end game. Nothing else. Again, I don't want to be a doomer. We'll have to wait and see what happens. But right now, I just want to give my first impressions on New World Aeternum. How am I enjoying the game right now? And I gotta give it to you guys. I'm actually really enjoying this game. It's some of the best MMO experiences that I've had in a long time, actually. Just going in and seeing all the, even though I'm kind of a solo player, I'm a solo MMO player, I still do feel great when I see a bunch of people around me. Whenever I go to one of the major cities and there's a bunch of people, someone's playing music, then you tip them, people are talking on the voice chat, and you just feel like you're in a real world somehow. When you're out in the wilds, you're killing mobs, you're killing an open world boss, and you see a bunch of people and you're all helping each other. It's just a great experience, and that's what really MMOs are about. It's socializing with a bunch of players, and even if you don't socialize with them, at least you can see them and you feel like you're in this magical fantasy world, and it's just great. Simply great. Also, the profession system in New World, I feel like not a lot of people talk about this, but it's fucking amazing. You go around, logging feels really good, like the sounds, and then you cut the tree and it falls over, and you get a bunch of people logging in the same place. You can empty out the forest. It takes a little bit of time before all the trees respawn again. Mining feels great, and just leveling each profession feels rewarding. And you're actually using the wood that you chop, the ore that you gather. You use it in crafting. You craft furniture for your, maybe you want to craft furniture for your house. You can craft also really good equipment, which you could sell on the auction house, or you could use yourself. And you level up your crafting skills as well. It's a full cohesive professions system that has actually been great from the start. Ever since New World release, they've nailed this. This is one of the few things that on release people really enjoyed and really liked about New World. And I feel like not many MMOs do that well these days. Not many MMOs focus on the crafting or on the gathering. So New World, Amazon Game Studios, you gotta give it to them when it comes to professions. One thing that will deter a lot of people away is the price of this game. The game is priced at $60, and if you want to get the full experience, you're gonna have to buy the DLC. That's another $30, so we're talking about $90 for the full experience, and mainly you want to buy the DLC because of the mounts. Now, the game without mounts, and the game actually released without mounts, it kind of like it made the leveling experience worse, given the fact that you have to walk a lot. There's a lot of walking in New World. You're going from one place to another, and the map is not the smallest map ever. So adding the mounts just made the leveling experience more cohesive. It's more fluid now. It's more fun because you're not just walking over and over and over and over through the same places. You're just on your mount, running really quick, and leveling up your mount actually feels fun. You go around different places in the world and you do these races, which gives you XP for your mount, which you can level, and the more levels you have for your mount, the faster it is. There's also equipment for your mount, which gives you various boosts, like a boost for stamina on your mount, or making it a little bit faster when you dash using your mount, or reducing fall damage with your mount. So stuff like that, they've actually put some thought into it. It's not like just, okay, let's add mounts and leave it at that. No, there's a full system, and I'm actually surprised that they could pull off the mounts. Like when the game first released, I thought these were the shittiest developers ever. I really thought that they couldn't make any fucking thing work with a slew of bugs in this game, and I'm actually surprised that they made a full-on mount system and implemented it into the game when the game didn't really have a mount system. I'm not even sure if the game was built for mounts, but they've nailed it. It feels like a full-on part of the game now. So going through the world without a mount and leveling without a mount kind of sucks. So I would say if you're gonna buy the game, you should definitely buy the DLC and get the full experience. Otherwise, you will be missing on a lot, and you can't even do the no raid without the DLC. So if you're thinking about buying the game without a DLC, I would definitely not recommend that. That would be a waste of your time and money, because you're not going to get the full experience. I'm just going to say it. So spend a little extra, buy the DLC, and have fun with the game. I will be doing another review of the game when I reach endgame and I get the full endgame experience and see how that is, if they've actually changed anything, if it's any good. But for now, I'm just leveling. I'm really enjoying the game. I'm having fun with all the people, and I enjoy reading global chat as well. Like, I won't say what goes on in world chat, but there's a lot of edgy shit on there that's kind of funny. I find it funny. A lot of politics as well, which I mean, it is what it is, right? It's election time. I'm hoping this is a new beginning for New World, and I can see that the devs are actually putting the time and effort, and you can tell that they care about this game. Even though this game gets a lot of hate, they get a lot of shade thrown at them, they're still hanging on, they're still doing stuff for the game, and it probably costs a lot of money. I wouldn't be surprised if the New World devs are actually losing money on New World. But hey, more power to them. They're working on the game, and the community seems to be revived for a few months at least. So if you want to try this game, this is, like, as I've said, this is the time to try it, because in a few months you never know what's going to happen. You don't really want to play this game when there's no one else playing it, right? It's just not fun. But yeah, I will be making another video later on. Stay tuned for that. But that was everything. You should try New World. I love New World, and thank you all for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.